By the way,
Mm.
now it's time for the main event, okay? Let's get ready to rumble.
Ok, let's get ready to rumble. Bienvenidos al Ray Studios. Aquí vamos a reaccionar y vamos a ver junto a la cena All Smith en New York, donde Donald Trump asistió, arrasó y desastró con todo el mundo ahí. Yo pensaba personalmente que Donald Trump no asistiría a la cena, ya que a Donald Trump no le gusta ir a las cenas corresponsales de las noticias en Washington, D.C., pero esto es un evento de la Iglesia Católica para recaudar fondos para los más necesitados en New York desde el 1945, desde la Segunda Guerra Mundial. Los políticos van, vimos cómo también Hillary Clinton fue en años pasados junto con Donald Trump. El evento es para recaudar fondos, el evento es para que se junten los políticos en tiempos tensos de política y de problema, para ponerle un tono ligero, para hacer chistes, para atacarse suavemente y bajar las tensiones. Pero con Donald Trump fue épico, porque él no le dio suave a Kamala Harris, a Joe Biden, a Chuck Schumer y a todos los que asistieron. Lo hizo funny, lo hizo chistoso, pero les dio duro. Quien ven en pantalla, quien hablará de primero, será el cardenal Timothy Dolan, el arzobispo de New York. Esta presentación es una tradición en el evento donde los líderes religiosos de la arquidiócesis de New York juegan un papel importante, ya que el evento es organizado por la Fundación Memorial Alfred Smith, que apoya a causas benéficas. Un poco más de historia sobre esto. Esta cena All Smith se organiza para recaudar fondos destinados a organizaciones benéficas, especialmente aquellas que apoyan a niños y familias de bajos recursos en New York. Está organizada por la Arquidiócesis de New York. Asisten líderes políticos, asisten figuras religiosas, celebridades, empresarios y la prensa también. Solamente falta el Ray Studios ahí, pero estamos aquí. ¿Se escucha mi audio? ¿Me escucho bien? Dale me gusta a este video para empezar y todo el que venga recuerda darle me gusta. Vamos a empezar directamente con las últimas noticias. Vamos a empezar aquí como el cardenal en New York presenta a Donald Trump, que lo consideré importante también. Y me dicen también si se escucha la voz de él, la voz mía y la voz de él.
This is also the only part of the show that you will see on Fox News. Shortly, I will introduce President Trump, who will likely talk about how Vice President Harris's absence proves that she hates Catholics, Americans, and babies. Then
Ok, él está bueno. Todo es de chiste, por eso lo voy a reaccionar. Yo sé que muchos de ustedes saben el chiste, que hablan inglés, otros que quizás no, entonces yo voy a estar interpretando de la forma que yo veo el chiste. Ya que mira, aquí podemos ver a Bloomberg, vemos a Katie Hochul, la gobernadora de New York, otros líderes políticos y religiosos, está Melania Trump, está Chuck Schumer también. Él dice, Donald Trump va a hablar, lo van a criticar, la media dirá que él será muy ofensivo y va a ofender a Kamala Harris y dirá que la prueba de que ella no vino es porque ella odia a los católicos y es porque ella odia a los niños o a los bebés. Eso es profundo, la situación de los bebés, porque tiene que ver con el tema del aborto. Now, Kamala Harris no fue. Las noticias están diciendo, Donald Trump ofendió a Kamala Harris. Es un evento para hacer chistes ligeros, no chistes tan profundos y ofensivos. Bueno, lo que tenía que hacer Kamala Harris es ir al evento y defenderse como lo hizo Hillary Clinton, porque Hillary Clinton fue, y yo recuerdo que quizás lo presente al final de este video, que Hillary Clinton fue dura y contundente en contra de Donald Trump en ese momento. Hizo buenos chistes en contra de Donald Trump. Para tú defenderte en un evento político así, no es escondiéndote, no es no asistiendo, es asistiendo y defendiéndote tú ahí, atacando ofensivamente. Así que si tú no asistes y te atacan duro, es tu culpa. Es tu culpa por hacerlo. Vamos a continuar aquí.
CNN and MSNBC will say President Trump went too far, and Elon Musk and Fox News will say he was pitch perfect. You know, during the first and only debate, President Trump talked about migrants taking cats and eating them. You know, if you're keeping track at home, this is the second time grabbing a kitty has been part of a campaign issue.
Él dice, Donald Trump se va a poner a hablar de que se están comiendo las mascotas y los gatos, eso no puede ser. Y miren qué casualidad, será la segunda vez donde se hace campaña con los gatos. Ay, Dios mío, ¿cómo le explico? ¿Cómo le explico? Recuerden que el tape que salió en el 2016, donde Donald Trump dijo en un tape de Access Hollywood que cuando tú eres poderoso y famoso, ¿saben? ¿Recuerdan? Poderoso y famoso, esta cinta, puedes. Él dice, es la segunda vez que en una campaña política se habla de gatos. Oh, my God.
You know,
We talked about leaving that out.
Mira lo que le dijo. Ella le dijo, tú no pudiste decir eso, no debiste decir esa parte. ¿Y qué va a decir?
I was going to leave that out. But you know, here's the thing that's so amazing about Donald Trump. It is impossible to not have a strong opinion about President Trump. You either think he is endearingly outspoken and brash, or you think he's a sociopath and you'd like to be his running mate. Donald Trump and I have a lot in common. We both have 5 children. We both have a lush mane of golden hair. And we both try to travel as much as possible to get away from our families. President Trump, before I invite you up here to the podium, I want you to know if you are reelected, I always liked you. And I'm not saying that because I don't want to be sent to a labor camp.
Ven, bueno, porque él se está curando con Donald Trump. Él dice, si Donald Trump, mira, si te conviertes en presidente, tú siempre me gustaste. Y no lo digo para que no me envíes a un campo de concentración. So, se la está dando, pero también le está acusando de los comentarios que acusan a Donald Trump de que supuestamente él será un dictador del día 1. Entonces él se cura con eso y dice, Donald Trump, tú me gustas, no me envíes a un campo de concentración. Buena estuvo esa.
Well, I guess that's the reason, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to bring up a man who loves New York City. He is the Republican nominee and the 45th President of the United States, President Donald J. Trump.
Thank you, everybody. Well, thank you very much. It's an honor. And they told me under no circumstances are you allowed to use a teleprompter. And I got up here and I see this is beautiful teleprompter.
Miren, cuando Donald Trump entró, la pantalla se puso borrosa. Yo digo que es de maldad porque el hombre, el anterior, el cardinal que estaba hablando, él se veía muy bien y normal, pero ahora Donald Trump se ve borroso. Pero no se preocupen que se arreglará pronto, como en alrededor de 1 minuto. Vamos a continuar con la aparición de Donald Trump. By the way, para los que acaban de entrar al en vivo, la cena All Smith se hace en un tono de burla. Se hace en un tono de chiste, se hace en un tono ligero. Lo especial aquí es que, aunque Donald Trump lo hará en burla, en chiste, no será ligero. Algunos de los ataques que Donald Trump hará para muchos serán fuertes y contundentes, con muchas verdades.
So here I am. But it is a tremendous thing. It's a tremendous dinner. I've come here with my father. So it was 3 times, but it was also many times before that, a long time ago. And it's a very special dinner. And you've done a fantastic job, Cardinal. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So I'd like to thank Your Eminence very much and members of the clergy, so many people I know. Speaker of the House Johnson, what a job you're doing. He's done a great job. Senator Schumer, good. Yeah, I supported him. I don't know. He used to say that's true, and now I'm not sure he would, but I gave him his first check from an office in Beach Haven, and I was very proud of it. I don't know about lately. Now I was.
Ok, ahí está el senador Chuck Schumer, que él lo está sazonando primero. Miren a Chuck Schumer, yo lo conozco de New York, es un buen hombre, yo le di su primer cheque, pero después lo dejará caer de alto a Chuck Schumer, senador de New York, de la descendencia de Abraham.
Check. He was running, and I said, he's a good man. Senator Gillibrand, thank you very much. Thank you very much for working hard. Governor Hochul, wherever you may be up, this is a big day, that's right. Where is the governor? Good job. It's not an easy one, is it? But you're doing all right. We have to get a little money from the federal government, I have to tell you. It's about time. It's about time. Mayor Adams, good luck with everything. They went after you. They went after you, Mayor. Yeah, boy, I do that.
Ok. Donald Trump empezó diciendo, y la gobernadora, Katie Hochul, está aquí. Le dice, Katie Hochul, la gobernadora, estás haciendo un buen trabajo, pero necesitas dinero. Vas a necesitar dinero del gobierno federal. Like, Nueva York no tiene dinero casi ya. Y después se le va para Eric Adams, el alcalde de New York City. Eric, fueron detrás de ti, Eric. Yo lo sabía, Eric, que te iban a dar con todo. Y ustedes saben que a Eric Adams le dieron con todo, enfrenta cargos federales, todo su gabinete y miembros y funcionarios tuvieron que renunciar. De todo esto se está burlando Donald Trump en su cara. Épico.
9.5 months ago, I said, he just said something about the administration. He's going to be indicted any moment. And guess what happened? But you're going to win. I think you're going to win. I know you're going to win. So good luck. Good luck. I don't like what they do.
Okay.
And also distinguished, got so many friends up here. It's great. A lot of great friends, some of my best friends. And you are right, they are distinguished and they are wealthy for the most part. A couple are having a hard time, but they're going to get over it. I also want to thank my very beautiful wife, and thank you for mentioning, but can you believe this? She did a book, and it's a really good book, and she worked hard on it, and it just became #1 on the New York Times list. So I think that's okay. That's not an easy thing to do, especially when your name is Trump and you're on the New York Times list. I think that must be selling like hotcakes. But thank you for mentioning. Appreciate it. Good job you did. It's a true pleasure to be with you this evening. Amazing pleasure. And these days, it's really a pleasure anywhere in New York without a subpoena for my appearance.
Dice Donald Trump, es bueno estar en New York sin una citación para ir a la corte, sin una citación de la corte. Es bueno estar aquí, porque cada vez que va a New York, hubo una citación en la corte.
Anytime I don't get a subpoena, I'm very happy. They've gone after me, Mr. Mayor. You're peanuts compared to what they've done to me. And you're going to be okay.
Yo, Eric Adams, lo que te hacen a ti, eso no es nada, Eric Adams, comparado con lo que me están haciendo a mí, dice Donald Trump.
But I have to be careful, however, to understand that this will be the first time in the history of this event where jokes will be fact-checked, and they will be. And they will.
Primera vez en la historia que le harán verificación de los hechos a las bromas.
It's been a long tradition for both Democrat and Republican candidates for president of the United States to attend this dinner. It's a rule. You got to go to the dinner. You got to do it. Otherwise, bad things are going to happen to you from up there. You can't do what I just saw on that screen. But my opponent feels like...
Aquí él dijo algo profundo, que fue un chiste, pero es bien profundo. Él dice, estoy aquí en la cena, hay que venir a la cena, obligado, te obligan a venir a la cena. Si no, algo del cielo te va a caer. Meaning like, la cena es religiosa de la iglesia, supuestamente ve por los niños para ayudar, por Dios, pero no, hay muchos intereses de poder, hay mucho dinero ahí, a veces le hacen presión, ve obligado o te quitamos cierto apoyo, te quitamos tal apoyo. Antes, cuando Donald Trump entró usando mucho de su dinero en campaña, él podía darse el lujo de decir que no a muchísimas cosas, pero hoy en día, con tanto dinero que se ha perdido, con tantos casos, con tantos intentos, él necesita donantes, necesita apoyo, y aquí muchas veces dice, Trump, ve por lo menos a la cena, y ahí está Trump. Fue como el mensaje subliminal, like, estoy aquí, como que, vine, no que yo quería venir, pero aquí estoy.
Like she does not have to be here, which is deeply disrespectful to the event, and in particular to our great Catholic community. Very disrespectful.
Falta de respeto que Kamala Harris no vaya. Ahora va a empezar con Kamala. Let's
go.
The
last Democrat not to attend this important event was Walter Mondale, and it did not go very well for him. He lost 49 states and he won 1, Minnesota. So I said, there's no way I'm missing it. Actually, it was not easy for me to get here tonight. Because I wasn't going to miss this thing, no matter, I didn't care. I wasn't going to miss it. But that's true. Walter Mondale, 49-1. He was expected to do well, and it didn't work out. It shows you there is a God. I mean, for those people that are questioning it. I understand the real reason that she's not here is she's hunting with her running mate, spending a lot of time hunting. In any event, it's a weird. You know the word weird. They call me weird. They call JD weird. We're very solid people. This guy is calling us weird, but this was weird that the Democrat candidate is not here and with us tonight. I want to also congratulate somebody's going to make us all healthy. RFK Jr., we love you. I don't see him. He's campaigning all over the place. He's campaigning. You're all over. Hello, you both. Nice to see you both. Doing a good job. He's a great guy, too. He really is. He's going to make us a healthier place. We're going to let him go wild for a little while. Then I'm going to have to maybe rein him back. Because he's got some pretty wild ideas, but most of them are really good, I think. He's a good man. And he believes the environment, the healthy people. He wants healthy people. He wants healthy food. And he's going to do it. He's going to have a big chance to do it because we do need that.
Él está hablando de RFK Jr., que dice que él quiere hacer América saludable de nuevo. Y ya reaccionamos al discurso de RFK Jr. explicando qué tan enfermas están los Estados Unidos y tantos problemas que las personas tienen y quiénes son los culpables.
I would not have missed the Al Smith dinner for anything in the world. I still remember coming here as a very young guy with my father, Fred. He was a great guy, my father. He was a tough cookie, but he had a very big heart. He was, anytime we'd walk down the street, and you don't see it too much anymore, there'd be people standing with tin cans, and he would always take out $100 and put it in that can. And I always thought it was beautiful. And frankly, I even think more so now it was beautiful because nowadays you don't see it so much. But I miss him, and we used to come here very religiously. And a great New York tradition has been born 79 years ago. It was born 79 years ago, and there are some people that were here for almost that length. I know many of them, and it's not a pretty picture. Not a pretty picture. The two candidates for president are supposed to exchange good-natured barbs, and you know we get along very well. I didn't like Biden very much, and now I like him quite a bit. You know, and now I say that she's much worse than him. He was a much better candidate than her, actually. And when we hopefully win, dispose of her, I like her a lot, but right now I can't stand her. It's true. I can't stand. I've never liked people that I was competing against. When you do, a lot of bad things happen. And we are doing well. By the way, the votes are starting to come in. You got to get out and vote. And Catholics, you got to vote for me. Just remember. You better remember I'm here. And she's not. I could have done that too. But you do something that's incredible. The Catholic Church, you're helping the poor, educating children, and supporting the vulnerable. But if you really wanted Vice President Harris to accept your invitation, I guess you should have told her the funds were going to bail out the looters and rioters in Minneapolis, and she would have been here, guaranteed. She would have been here. Guaranteed. She would have been okay. She would have been okay with that. But I know this isn't.
¿Vieron esa parte? Aquí él se refirió, dice, Kamala Harris no vino, es irrespetuoso, es desafortunado, este dinero para la caridad, para ayudar a los niños, pero si de verdad ustedes querían que ella viniera, tenían que decirles, no que el dinero era para la caridad de los niños, ni los niños católicos, que era para los que protestaron en Minneapolis. ¿Se recuerdan las protestas de George Floyd en el 2020? Eso es lo que él quiso decir. Debieron de decirle que el dinero era para ellos.
My normal crowd tonight, because it just isn't. It's not my normal crowd. Believe me, my normal crowd is younger, has a lot more energy, but you have certain advantages too, like cash, lots of cash. But many of you are Manhattan liberals from the media and the Democrat Party. I always say the Democrat, you know, Chuck doesn't like that. He likes Democratic, and it sounds much more beautiful. The Democratic Party. I always say the Democrat Party because it sounds worse. It is true. He likes Democratic. Why don't they just change the name? This way, you know, it is Democrat. But I must say, I was shocked when I heard that Kamala was skipping the Al Smith dinner. I'd really hoped that she would come because we can't get enough of hearing her beautiful laugh. She laughs like crazy. We would recognize it any place in this room, and all polls are indicating I'm leading big with the Catholic vote, as I should be, But I don't think Kamala has given up yet. She hasn't. Instead of attending tonight, she's in Michigan receiving communion from Gretchen Whitmer. That's not a pretty sight. But Catholics, please don't be too insulted by Kamala's absence. If the Democrats, he says, thank you very much, I appreciate it. If Democrats really wanted to have someone not be with us this evening, they would have just sent Joe Biden. You know, he's having second thoughts, you know that, right? He wants to come back. If she does any worse in the polls, they're going to bring him back again, I think. Chuck, he's going to do it. He's the one that got him out. That's the guy.
Miren, que shock. Fue shock que sacó a Joe Biden de la carrera.
Much more so than Crazy Nancy, I will tell you. Because I know him. He did it. Joe has almost disappeared from view. The only way he could be seen less is if he had a show on CNN. They had nothing. They've got nothing. Fake news, right? Fake. That term wasn't good. You know, they say that term is no longer in vogue because it's much worse than fake. I don't want to tell you what the real name is. I won't do it because all those cameras would shut off immediately. They don't like that. But apparently Joe didn't think it was fair for me to have the podium to myself with Kamala skipping the event. So he called, looked at me, and said, don't. Does anybody understand that? Yeah. I thought it was actually very good until just now. It was announced this morning that at a funeral yesterday, in a rare moment of clarity, Joe told Barack Hussein Obama that, quote, only a few people got that. Or as Rush Limbaugh used to say, Barack Hussein Obama. Remember, bro? He was a piece of work. We miss him. But as he told Barack Hussein Obama, quote, she's not as strong as me. She's not as strong. Do you understand that? And Obama agreed, saying, that's true. Other than that, I think the Democrats are getting along quite well. Right? Nobody got that one.
So, él está hablando de cuando estaban en una ceremonia ayer, Barack Obama en Joe Biden, antes de ayer, Biden le dijo a Obama, y le leyeron los labios porque no se escuchaba, ni siquiera tenían micrófonos, que ella no es tan fuerte como yo, o sea, Kamala Harris no es tan fuerte como yo. El problema es que Joe Biden no es fuerte, pero Joe Biden por lo menos era más fuerte que Kamala Harris en el 2020 que lo que es Kamala Harris hoy en día. A eso se está refiriendo Donald Trump. Y Obama dijo que sí, que es cierto, que estaba de acuerdo. Increíble.
The fact is, we need new leadership in this country. Right now, we have someone in the White House who can barely talk, barely put together two coherent sentences, who seems to have mental faculties of a child, it's sad. There's a person that has nothing going, no intelligence whatsoever, but enough about Kamala Harris. Let's get on to something else. I know Kamala's word because she spends a lot of time complaining. I won't agree to another debate. But the truth is, I've debated twice this year, once against Joe Biden and once against David Muir of ABC. That was amazing, 11 times. None for the other side.
Donald Trump dice que no va a debatir ya porque debatió con Joe Biden. Debatió no solo con Kamala Harris, sino también con David Muir de ABC en el debate. ¿Recuerdan ese debate? Yeah.
So do you think that's fair news? I don't think so. That's fake news. I don't know what's going to happen 3 weeks from now. It's going to be very interesting. It just started. It's actually, isn't it sort of exciting right? It really, isn't it just exciting what's going on? It's a process. It's a rough process too. Not so pretty, and yet sometimes very beautiful. But the press is reporting the Democrats are starting to panic. They're panicking. They are panicking because, you know, the votes that are coming in very, very strong, a certain way. I won't tell you what way that is, but Chuck Schumer is here looking very glum. Doesn't he look glum? He looks glum.
Que dice Trump que Chuck Schumer se ve glum, como tenso, medio triste y tenso. Y él ahí dice que no, yo estoy bien. Vamos a ver que ahora le va a dar a Chuck Schumer.
But look on the bright side, Chuck, considering how woke your party has become. If Kamala loses, you still have a chance to become the first woman president.
Chuck, si Kamala pierde, tienes el chance de ser la primera mujer presidente. Damn.
And I actually said, do you mind if I do that? He said, no, you got to do what you got to do. He's a pro. He's a professional. No, he's a good man, actually. I hate to say it. Don't ever use it against me, please. They'll say, this dinner was really setting me back when I say that. But I've known him a long time. There's a group called White Dudes for Harris. Have you seen this? White Dudes for Harris. Anybody know? Are some of you here? White Dudes for Harris? Doesn't sound like it. But I'm not worried about them at all because their wives and their wives' lovers are all voting for me. Every one of those people is voting for me. And as you may have seen, Kamala did an interview on Fox News yesterday. It went so poorly for her that the Democrats have been forced to install another 100 drop boxes throughout the city. And the upside really is Kamala now sees the benefit of deportation. She wants to deport people. She's vicious. She wants to deport people, and she wants to start by deporting Brett Baer, Fox.
Kamala ahora quiere deportar personas y va a empezar con deportar a Brett Baer de Fox, el que le hizo la entrevista antes de ayer.
It's an interesting interview last night. Huh? A major issue in this race is childcare, and Kamala has put forward a concept of a plan. A lot of people don't like it. The only piece of advice I would have for her in the event that she wins would be not to let her husband, Doug, anywhere near the nannies. Just keep them away.
Uf.
That's a nasty one.
Dice, bueno, no dejen al esposo de Kamala cerca de las nannies, de las que cuidan niños. Y Donald Trump dice, oh, that's a nasty one. Es una asquerosa, un chiste asqueroso. Porque no, Donald Trump no escribe todos los chistes. Algunos chistes lo ayudaron a escribir Fox. Él escribió otras y escritores de comedias, de chistes, también le escribieron algunos. Pero él los lee y lo aprueba todos. No es como que él no sabe el chiste que está diciendo. Él lo que sé, como el chiste es fuerte, le dijo predador al esposo de Kamala, a Doug. Dijo de que, ay, esa no fue buena. Pero él la quería decir.
That's nasty. I told these idiots that gave me this stuff, that's too tough. Oh, I did. You know, they told me the last time I did this,
Se limpió.
I was running against crooked Hillary. And, I mean, Hillary. No, I was running against crooked Hillary and I did it. And I thought it was a roast. So I was told it's a roast. And I had the meanest guy you've ever seen.
A roast. Aquí en el subtítulo dice que a él le dijeron en la cena pasada que era un roast. Aquí la traducción dice un asado, porque asado es un roast. Pero un roast es un ataque de comedias. Like, yo te tiro y tú me tiras. Roasting people. ¿Cómo se diría en español?
Write stuff up. And man, was the room angry. Even the cardinal remembers. I went overboard. Don't you agree, Cardinal? It was like terrible.
Me pasé. Yo dije, me pasé con Hillary Clinton. Él mismo lo sabe. Pero él se va a justificar como quiera. Like, me pasé, me dijeron que no lo haga. Y no me importa, me pasé como quiera.
And I knew I was in trouble around midway through because, you know, people had not, even my own side was angry at me. They were saying it's too much. But I did it anyway. I didn't give it. Campaigning can take a toll on a family and family life, although I hear that Kamala and her husband carve out some really beautiful alone time at the end of the day for an intimate dinner, just Doug, her, and the teleprompter that she uses quite well. And by the way, she wouldn't have liked this tonight if she was told about no teleprompter. I can't believe I saw a teleprompter. They said they've never had a teleprompter in the history of this dinner. I told that to the condo, right? And then a teleprompter pops up for, he must be a very important comedian to get that. They give you one, but not me. How about that one? Huh? Come here. Yeah, and you did a good job. Tradition holds that I'm supposed to tell a few self-deprecating jokes this evening. So here it goes. Nope, I've got nothing. There's nothing to say.
Ah, buena esa. Es like, ok, hoy me dijeron que tengo que hacer algunos chistes autodestructivos, self-deprecating, autodespectivos. Y aquí voy a decir mis chistes autodespectivos. No hay nada. No hay nada que decir en contra de mí.
I guess I just don't see the point of taking shots at myself when other people have been shooting at me for a hell of a long time and they shoot at. You know, they say about presidents, they
Se pasó. No veo por qué yo me atacaría a mí mismo si a mí me están atacando por todas las partes y hasta tiros me han dado. Damn, estuvo buena esa barra. Dale me gusta a este video. Dale me gusta a este video que está bueno el día de hoy. Nos estamos divirtiendo porque todo es muy serio, todo es mucha noticia, el cual este es el propósito de la cena. Hacer chistes, relajarse, compartir los lados opuestos de que es una guerra, pero que podemos juntarnos civilizadamente en una sociedad. Y aquí nosotros viéndolos, ustedes y yo reaccionando juntos, es como que somos parte de la cena también. Nos merecemos eso. Rostizar. Gracias a los que me dijeron el roast. Quemar, rostizar, atacar. Let's go.
say that Andrew Jackson was the president that was the most meanly treated. His wife died. She died of heartache. She was heartbroken at the way they treated him. And they say that second was Abraham.
Pueden enviar superchats si lo prefieren. Son bienvenidos en el Rey Studios, ya que yo no estoy haciendo anuncios ni hablando con nadie ni con empresarios. Solamente nosotros, los de la NASA, son apreciados los superchats en el Rey Studios. Tips también hay en el canal del botón de gracias y pueden unirse en el botón de unirse, de join, y ser miembros de la NASA, el Rey Studios.
Lincoln, but he was in charge of a civil war, you know. So, but those were the two. Andrew Jackson. Up until me, now they say it's not even close. There's never been a president that's been treated so badly as me, and our people aren't happy about it. But I was treated a little bit rough, but I don't mind it somehow, and I think it's just part of the game. I'd like to thank our MC this evening, Jim Gaffigan. Most recently, Jim has been playing Tim Walsh on Saturday Night Live, and that'll be a very short gig, I hope, Jim. But it was fun while it lasted, wasn't it? Let's see how that lasts. It better be quick. We don't want him, and I'm not going to say anymore. But unfortunately, Governor Walsh isn't here himself, but don't worry, he'll say that he was. He's going to say he was. I used to think that
Ay, Dios mío. ¿Quién me está llamando? Estoy en vivo, no puedo. All right. El gobernador Tim Walz no está aquí hoy, desafortunado, pero no se preocupen. Él dirá que él sí estuvo diciéndole mentiroso. Hablador a Tim Walz por lo que pasó en el debate cuando mintió sobre ir a China.
Democrats were crazy for saying that men have periods, but then I met Tim Walz.
Alguien dice aquí, Ray, Sarar, dice Ray, creo que si pudiera ir a esa cena, los nervios no me dejarían comer. Oye, esos políticos, esas personas, ellos no son de nadie, ellos no son de nada, ellos no deberían ponerte nervioso. No, porque tú no trabajas para ellos. Ellos trabajan para ti, ellos trabajan para nosotros. Eso es lo que pasa. Nosotros votamos, el pueblo lo pone a ellos. Ellos no son más grandes que nosotros, aunque piensen que lo sean. We the people. Nosotros somos la persona. Nosotros la gente. Tú y yo somos los grandes. Nada de nerviosismo con esos políticos. Pero yo les digo a todos, les digo lo que les tengo que decir a todos. Let's go.
The stupid show, The View, is so bad now that the other day I was watching it and thinking to myself, you know what? They really need to bring Rosie O'Donnell back. That show is bad. Those people are bad. I know every one of them, and they are bad news, I want to tell you. And it doesn't do very well either. I always like to say, you know, ratings are very important. When they don't do well, it doesn't do very well. As I look around the dais, I see all of the usual suspects. For instance, Mayor Adams. I'd like to poke some fun at Eric, but I'm going to be nice. I just want to be nice because I know what it's like to be persecuted by the DOJ for speaking out against open borders. We were persecuted, Eric. I was persecuted, and so are you, Eric. The mayor's dietary restrictions are well known, but I've got to...
¿Vieron todo lo que yo he dicho? Donald Trump dijo, yo quería atacar a Eric Adams, demócrata, pero no puedo hacerlo porque odio lo que le están haciendo a él, porque yo sé lo que se siente que te ataquen cuando pongan el Departamento de Justicia, el FBI en contra de él, porque él habló en contra de fronteras abiertas. Sé lo que se siente, que fue lo que yo he estado diciendo todo el tiempo que le pasó a él. Él habló en contra de lo que estaba pasando en New York, el alcalde, le bajaron el dedo y feo le bajaron el dedo, no solamente un pau en la mano, no fue un tiro al lado del pie, no, fue para matarlo. Wow, I would have put on a vest. I expect you to aim for the head.
Say I've never met a person who's a vegan who liked turkey so much. There's something about him with turkey. I just found that out today. You know, I haven't been in New York that much. Don't let it, but you're going to win, Eric. We have another former New York City mayor with us, frankly, easily the worst in our history. And it's not Michael, that I can tell you. I'm surprised that Bill de Blasio was actually able to make it tonight, to be honest. He was a terrible mayor. I don't give a shit if this is comedy or not. He was a terrible mayor.
Damn, Bill de Blasio fue terrible, no me importa, él fue terrible, Bill de Blasio, es cierto, Bill de Blasio comiendo papas fritas y te daremos papas fritas y hamburguesas si te pones algo en tu cuerpo. Váyese de ahí, Bill de Blasio, loco viejo.
He did a horrible job. That's not comedy, by the way, that's fact. But unlike the rest of New York, at least Bill doesn't have to worry about the criminals. They owe him big. He let them get away with a lot of stuff. Well, I'd better wrap up because Mayor Adams told me earlier that I needed to make this one very quick, especially the city has reserved this room for a large group of illegal aliens coming in from Texas. That's right, they've reserved many rooms, a lot of rooms, too many rooms. But in all seriousness, it's an honor.
Ya, se me están saliendo las lágrimas a mí, qué vaina. Una luz me está dando el chiste, no puedo continuar yo. Pero esto es en vivo. Lo siento. Dice Donald Trump, tengo que hacerlo rápido ya. Tengo que terminar. Porque el alcalde Eric Adams me dijo que después esta habitación la pondrán para inmigrantes indocumentados que vienen de Texas. Así que tenemos que salir rápido de aquí.
To be here to support the city and the community. It's a great community that I love. I've been here a long time and I love it. And then it's going to make a big comeback and I'm going to help it make a comeback. I'm going to win and I'm going to make a comeback. We're going to turn this thing around. And I want to pay tribute to a really incredible man, a man who was a tremendous politician. And actually the fact that he was Catholic it probably did him in, right? It probably, nobody knows for sure. But he was a great guy, Al Smith, great guy. Everyone says it, happy warrior. I've said before that I'll say it again as many times as I have to, directly to the mayor, the governor. If I have the honor to be elected next month, we're going to see what happens. It's happening so fast, but if I have the honor, I look forward to working together to make this city greater than ever before. We're going to do that. We're going to be focused on. I'll work with the governor. I'll work with the mayor, Democrats. I will work with them. I work with whoever I have to, and we will even work very hard to bring back the SALT tax deduction. We're going to bring it back. We're going to bring it back. We're going to get that.
Ok, ahí él dijo algo que tienen que saber. We're going to bring it back. The SALT tax deduction. Déjame ver cómo se dice, cómo lo tradujo en español. necesario e incluso trabajaremos muy duro para recuperar la deducción de impuestos a la sal. Ok, eso no es reducción de impuestos a la sal, por eso quería decirlo. Se llama SALT, como la sal, pero es una abreviatura de un impuesto que le van a reducir a los ricos de ciudades liberales como New York y California. Por ejemplo, cuando yo dije al principio que Donald Trump está en esta cena, que tiene donantes, Donald Trump, ok, nos fuimos con el pueblo, estamos en contra de la élite, pero no toda la élite. Hay una élite tan fuerte que le dice, Trump, haz lo que tú quieras, pero las deducciones de SALT, de impuestos para nosotros, va. Y es una deducción de impuestos que va para unos ricos. Claro y simple, pero el que no sabe lo que es SALT deduction, se le va por encima. Ven, así que así es la política. Hay unos compromisos que hay que hacer con diferentes sectores y con ricos. Esto no es a lo loco. Para luchar al sistema, ajá. Demasiado lejos ha llegado Donald Trump luchando el sistema, demasiado. Cuando llega donde cupa, ahí hay que hacer unos compromisos. Seguimos aquí.
We're going to bring it back. We're going to bring it back. We're going to get that thing going, Chuck, okay?
Ve. We're gonna get that thing going, Chuck. Tú eres de Nueva York, tú eres liberal, tú eres un progresista, pero nosotros sabemos que tenemos que darle una deducción de impuestos a estos ricos, se lo vamos a hacer, Chuck. ¿Le llegaste, Chuck? Eso es lo que no se ve de la cena. Porque ya esto no es entre nosotros, esto es entre rico y elite. Aquí hay un lenguaje que ellos están hablando que antes los latinos no lo sabían, pero ahora llegó el Ray Studios y sí lo sabemos. Se comunican entre ellos y hay lagunas en el código de taxes para beneficiarlos a ellos. Que muchas veces a estos ricos no les importa quién gane. Si gana Kamala Harris, si gana Donald Trump. Por eso Donald Trump tiene tantos chances de ganar, porque, ok, Donald Trump no dará el impuesto de SALT. Vayan ahí. Mete mano, haz lo que tú quieras con la frontera. Si yo me ahorro $50 millones, mete mano. Así que funciona.
I actually thought about not doing jokes tonight. I was going to come out here and say, listen, our country is doing very badly. This is not about jokes. And then some person said, you have to do jokes. I said, I don't want to. There's nothing funny about what's happening to our country. And I actually meant that. I was going to do that, but they convinced me to say some of the things I said tonight. I don't know if they were funny or not, but hey, you think this is easy standing up here and doing this in front of half a room that hates my guts and the other half loves me?
¿Crees que es fácil hacer esto en frente de personas que me odian? Mira, Bloomberg. ¿Y qué es lo que tiene Bloomberg? Pero miren a Bloomberg, come on, no, espera, no, yo, es a Bloomberg que queremos ver. Quítale los subtítulos para que tú veas Bloomberg. Miren ese hombre de Bloomberg. ¿Qué es lo que tiene Bloomberg en la nariz? Bloomberg se parece una momia. Bloomberg, revisen a Bloomberg después de esto. Jesus Christ, Bloomberg. That's crazy. Vamos a continuar aquí.
Half of us love me. Well, maybe it's, I think 75% love me. But I actually do. I did think about that. And our country is doing very badly with respect to its open borders.
Dale me gusta a este video, mi gente de Ray Studios. Es lo único que tenemos nosotros. Los ricos combaten el sistema y se hablan entre ellos, pero lo único que tenemos nosotros para poder aprender estas informaciones y distribuir la información a lo mejor de nuestras habilidades es dándole fuertemente al botón de me gusta de este video. Aprovecha la oportunidad. 3, 2, 1, yes.
And inflation, crushing, things happening in the Middle East and Ukraine. It's so sad to see what's happening in Ukraine. Wow. I had a lot of people from very religious people come up to me tonight from Ukraine, and they're asking me for help. So sad to see so many people have been killed in Ukraine, and we're going to get it settled up if we win. As I'm president-elect, I'm going to get that done. I'm going to do it before we ever get back. We have to get it stopped. Too much killing. It's killing, and all of those cities are coming crashing down. Those beautiful golden domes are crashing down on their sides. They're so sad to see. The whole thing is so sad. So we're going to be, for all those people, there's so many people came up to the dais and religion.
Wow, déjame leer este comentario. Trump es un update del sistema, un error o una mejora del algoritmo. El sistema está haciendo un reset. El Trump nació en este sistema, lo conoce, pero se le viró. Bro, te pasaste, line. That's a fact. Eso es un comentario, es un análisis profundo. Donald Trump creció en ese sistema. Donald Trump le daba dinero a los políticos por las mismas deducciones de impuestos y todo eso. Donald Trump lo dijo claro en el 2016. Dice, no, dice Hillary Clinton, no, porque Donald Trump, él se aprovecha de la laguna de impuestos para pagar menos. Y dice Donald Trump, sí, yo sí. Yo sí, igual que todos ustedes, igual que tú, igual que tu esposo, igual que los ricos, igual que él, igual que él. La diferencia es que ahora yo quiero arreglarlo. Arréglalo, Hillary. ¿Y por qué tú no lo arreglaste, Hillary? Hillary, pero tú eres senadora. Hillary, pero tú eres secretaria de Estado. Hillary, pero tú estás en la política la vida entera. Hoy, ahora. Esa es la diferencia. Yo por lo menos aprecio que digan la verdad de lo que está pasando. Let's go.
Just people from Ukraine, and I'm going to say, and I told them, don't worry, we're going to get it stopped. It's too bad it ever started. It should have never started. It wouldn't have started. But we're going to have our country respected again. We're going to make sure that it's respected, and we're going to go out and do very good things for ourselves as a country and for the world. These are challenging times for our beautiful USA, but I'm committed to working with every partner here in New York and all across the nation to build an America that once again is strong and safe and proud and prosperous and free. We're going to make sure together we can create a future defined by great ambitions and grand achievements that once again inspires the dreams of our children, brings back the American dream. You don't hear about the American dream anymore. We're going to make it possible for them to have the American dream. This is a very religious evening to me. It really is. It represents so much. My sister was somebody that loved the church and gave to the church. The cardinal knew that. Had a certain priest that she thought was incredible, right? For a certain very, very fine man that she thought was incredible. Having recently myself survived 2 assassination attempts. I survived. I have a chart that went down to the right. Fortunately, I looked at it's my all-time favorite piece of paper, but it went down and I looked to the right and I said, you know, was that luck? What was that, luck, or was that God that did that? And I think it was God that did that. I do. But I have a very fresh, Cardinal, I have a very fresh appreciation for how blessed we are by God's providence and his divine mercy. I mean, that was something I was not supposed to be here tonight. That I can tell you. So with God's help, I know there is.
De la forma que yo veo esto, miren, vamos a escuchar esta parte. De la forma que yo lo veo, este es como el mensaje de Donald Trump a toda la campaña que ha hecho Donald Trump, todo lo en contra o opuesto a lo que ha hecho Joe Biden y Kamala Harris, lo que Donald Trump quiere hacer. Pero este yo lo veo como el mensaje de consolidación de Donald Trump a la élite. Like, déjenme trabajar. Yo sé que ustedes quieren su impuesto. Vamos a meter mano, shock, pero déjenme tranquilo. Like, vamos a hacer la paz. Ya. Vamos a darle, porque Donald Trump tiene el chance demasiado grande de ganar. Lo único que con lo que pasó en el 2020, ¿qué te puedo yo decir? Porque nosotros podemos estar en vivo el día de las elecciones y vemos se fue el sistema, se fue la luz, vemos una gráfica rara y después, ¿qué va a pasar al otro día? Eso es lo que pasa. No se puede, este es el juego final, no se pueden cometer errores aquí.
Nothing that cannot be achieved. We can achieve so much good with this country and get together and unify. I want to thank the Al Smith Foundation for its noble work, and I want to express my tremendous gratitude to the Catholic community. It's a great community. It's a community I've gotten along with all my life. I tell you, when I was president, I was in the Oval Office and I got a call from the Cardinal, and he said, "We need help." It was during the China virus. I want to be accurate when I describe it. And he said, we need help. Our schools are in devastating shape. They needed much more than $1 billion. I won't even tell you the number, but much more than $1 billion. But I've known the community and I've known the schools. I know so many people that were educated in the Catholic school system, and they are great. And they just speak with it like with love, much more so than almost any system that I've seen. And he said, sir, we have a big problem. We need a number of billions of dollars, or we're going to have to close down the New York school system, the whole system in New York. And I said, give me 15 minutes. I think I can find it. And we gave him billions of dollars. And you know what? He stayed open and they thrived. And to this day, I hear you did just about the best job there is in education. So, and that was always an honor. That was always, and every time he sees me, he says, "Thank you very much." I said, "I know what you're talking about, but we worked together. We were a good partnership, right? We got that money in about 15 minutes, billions, and it was put to very good use." But I just want to thank everybody. This is a special evening. It's a very serious evening. I think we have some serious problems in the world, but they're going to get solved, and we're going to make America great again. And thank you very much, and God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Ok, miren ahí, el aplauso de la élite. Ese fue el mensaje de Donald Trump para la élite. Ellos hablaron ahí en códigos, en chistes y cosas. Ellos se hablaron. Ellos se hablaron.
Thank you, President Trump. This concludes our first half of the program.
All right, great. Miren, no iba a presentar esto porque lo iba a dejar hasta aquí, pero considero que nosotros podemos ver lo que pasó con Hillary Clinton y lo que Donald Trump le dijo a Hillary Clinton en el 2016. Miren aquí, vamos a ver a Hillary Clinton primero, porque Hillary Clinton lo hizo bien en contra de Donald Trump. Vamos a ver.
Thank you. Thank you. Your Eminence, Your Excellencies, members of the clergy.
Está difícil ponerse a ver a Hillary Clinton un buen rato. Vamos a ver un poquito solamente de Hillary Clinton.
Alan Nance Smith, Donald and Melania, and all the distinguished guests. You know, earlier tonight, Al reminded me that when the first Al Smith ran for president, he chose as his running mate the progressive senator from Arkansas, Joseph T. Robinson, who was one of my husband's political heroes. This work that you do through the dinner about a fiery populist, Al Smith. If he were here today and saw how much money we've raised for needy children, he'd be very proud. And if he saw this magnificent room full of plutocrats celebrating his legacy, he'd be very.
No se rindan con Hillary, no se rindan, que yo lo vi en el 2016. Tengo mucho que no vuelvo a repasar esto, pero recuerdo que fue interesante y después la respuesta de Donald Trump.
Very confused. It's a special honor to be here with Your Eminence. Now, I know, Your Eminence, you were criticized for.
¿Quién es más inteligente, Hillary Clinton o Kamala Harris? Hillary Clinton, 100%. Hillary Clinton, te guste o no, Hillary Clinton sabe expresarse, tiene ideas, es una progresista, no la apoyamos, pero no es una mujer bruta. No se confíen en Hillary Clinton.
Inviting both Donald and me here tonight. And you responded by saying, if I only sat down with those who were saints, I'd be taking all my meals alone. Now, just to be clear, I think the Cardinal is saying I'm not eligible for sainthood. But getting through these 3 debates with Donald has to count as a miracle.
Estuvo buena esa, Tatro se tuvo que reír, estuvo buena. Porque ella dice, el cardinal me dijo que si él solamente se sentara con los justos y santos, no se sentaría solo todo el tiempo porque no hay nadie. Y dice ella, bueno, pero sentarse con Donald Trump es un milagro que tú estás haciendo. Estuvo buena esa.
So I guess I'm up against the highest, hardest stained glass ceiling. But Your Eminence, you do deserve great credit for bringing together 2 people who've been at each other's throats, mortal enemies, bitter foes. I've got to ask, how did you get the governor and mayor here together tonight?
Fue bueno el chiste también, cómo juntaron a Andrew Cuomo, que era gobernador de New York en ese momento, y a Bill de Blasio, que se odian a muerte y se retaban en ese momento. Yo recuerdo que Bill de Blasio quería como abrir las escuelas o cerrarlas y el gobernador decía, cállese de Blasio, recoja la basura, que el que sabe soy yo. ¡Wow! Hubo una rivalidad grande y Hillary Clinton dijo, ¿cómo los juntaron a los dos?
Now, I've got to say, there are a lot of friendly faces here in this room, people that I've been privileged to know and to work with. I just want to put you all in a basket of adorables. And you look so good in your tuxes, or as I...
Ella lo hizo bien, para el que entiende el chiste, ella lo hizo bien en el 2016, porque ella dijo, hay tanta gente buena, lo quiero poner en el básquet de los adorables. Eso es en respuesta a que en el 2016, hay que recordarse, ella acusó a los votantes de Donald Trump de ser deplorables. Y eso le afectó mucho. Entonces ella hizo un chiste como, ok, esos son los deplorables y ustedes los adorables. All right, let's go, Hillary.
refer to them formal pantsuits. And, you know, because this is a friendly dinner for such a great cause, Donald, if at any time you don't like what I'm saying, feel free to stand up and shout wrong while I'm talking.
Yo, Donald Trump se tiene que reír de Hillary. Like, Trump, si no te gusta lo que digo, solamente di wrong, wrong.
You know, come to think of it, it's amazing I'm up here after Donald. I didn't think he'd be okay with a peaceful transition of power. And Donald, after listening to your speech, I will also enjoy listening to Mike Pence deny that you ever gave it. You know, I've had the privilege of being at the Al Smith dinners in years past, and I always enjoy it. But remember, if you're not happy with the way it comes out, it must be rigged. And it's always a special treat for me to be back in New York, a city that I love and which I think truly embodies the best of America. You know, don't you think? People look at the Statue of Liberty and they see a proud symbol of our history as a nation of immigrants, a beacon of hope for people around the world. Donald looks at the Statue of Liberty and sees a 4. Maybe a 5 if she loses the torch and tablet and changes her hair.
Le tiró fuerte ahí a Donald Trump. Miren algo aquí, vamos a ver lo que Donald Trump le respondió a Hillary en el 2016. Un poquito de esto, no tanto. Este video que presentaré es del 2016. La misma escena que acabamos de ver al principio de este video.
Thank you, Al. Wow. That was good. This is a hell of a dinner. Well, I want to thank Your Eminence. This is really great to be with you again. We love it. Governor Cuomo, our great senators. Hi, Chuck. He used to love me when I was a Democrat, you know.
Y recuerden algo, mira, Chuck estaba más joven ahí. Recuerden algo, en este momento, en el 2016, el odio de la élite hacia Donald Trump era demasiado alto. Era extremado el odio hacia Donald Trump en ese momento.
Mayor de Blasio, wherever you are, where's Mayor de Blasio? Huh? Hello, Mayor. Come on. See, in the old days, I would have known him very well, but I haven't been doing so much of the real estate anymore. And I want to thank Al and Nan Smith. Just a fantastic job you do with the dinner, and congratulations on a record. Over $6 million, right? Is their record. And a special hello to all of you in this room who have known and loved me for many, many years. It's true. The politicians, They've had me to their homes. They've introduced me to their children. I've become their best friends in many instances. They've asked for my endorsement, and they always wanted my money, and even called me really a dear, dear friend. But then suddenly decided when I ran for president as a Republican that I've always been a no good, rotten, disgusting scoundrel. And they totally forgot about me. But that's okay. You know, they say when you do this kind of an event, you always start out with a self-deprecating joke. Some people think this would be tough for me, but the truth is, true. The truth is I'm actually a modest person, very modest. It's true. In fact, many people tell me that modesty is perhaps my best quality. Even better than my temperament. You know, Cardinal Dolan and I have some things in common. For instance, we both run impressive properties on Fifth Avenue. Of course, his is much more impressive than mine. That's because I built mine with my own beautifully formed hands. While his was built with the hands of God, and nobody can compete with God. Is that correct? Nobody, right? That's right. No contest. It's great to be here with 1,000 wonderful people, or as I call it, a small, intimate dinner with some friends. Or as Hillary calls it, her largest crowd of the season. This stuff. This is corny stuff. I do recognize that I come into this event with a little bit of an advantage. I know that so many of you in the Archdiocese already have a place in your heart for a guy who started out as a carpenter working for his father. I was a carpenter working for my father. True. Not for a long period of time, but I was for about 3 weeks. What's great about the Al Smith dinner is that even in the rough and tumble world of a really, really hard-fought campaign. In fact, I don't know if you know Hillary, but last night they said that was the most vicious debate in the history of politics, presidential debate, the most vicious. And I don't know, are we supposed to be proud of that, or are we supposed to be unhappy? But they did say that, and I'm trying to think back to Lincoln. I don't think they can really compete with that. But the candidates have some lighthearted moments together, which is true. I have no doubt that Hillary is going to laugh quite a bit tonight, sometimes even at an appropriate moment. It's cool.
Sé que Hillary se va a reír esta noche, incluso en un momento apropiado, insinuando que ella siempre se ríe en el momento menos apropiado.
And even tonight, with all of the heated back and forth between my opponent and me at the debate last night, we have proven that we can actually be civil to each other. In fact, just before taking the dais, Hillary accidentally bumped into me, and she very civilly said, "Pardon me." And I very politely replied, "Let me talk to you about that after I get into office." Just kidding, just kidding. And Hillary was very gracious. She said if somehow she gets elected, she wants me to be, without question, either her ambassador to Iraq or to Afghanistan. It's my choice. But one of the things I noticed tonight, and I've known Hillary for a long time, is this is the first time ever, that Hillary is sitting down and speaking to major corporate leaders and not getting paid for it. It's true. It's true.
Primera vez que Hillary Clinton habla con líderes corporativos y no le pagan.
True. You know, last night I called Hillary a nasty woman. But this stuff is all relative. After listening to Hillary rattle on and on and on, I don't think so badly of Rosie O'Donnell anymore. In fact, I'm actually starting to like Rosie a lot. These events give not only the candidates a chance to be with each other in a very social setting, it also allows the candidates the opportunity to meet the other candidates' team. Good team. I know Hillary met my campaign manager, and I got the chance to meet the people who are working so hard to get her elected. There they are. The heads of NBC, CNN, CBS, ABC. There's the New York Times right over there and the Washington Post. They're working overtime. True. True. Oh, this one's going to get me in trouble. Not with Hillary. You know, the president told me to stop whining. But I really have to say, the media is even more biased this year than ever before. Ever. You want the proof? Michelle Obama gives a speech, and everyone loves it. It's fantastic. They think she's absolutely great. My wife, Melania, gives the exact same speech. And people get on her case.
Eso estuvo buena. It's like, oh my God. Las noticias son parciales y este año se notó bastante. Viene Michelle Obama, da un discurso. Bueno, antes de la primicia es que Michelle Obama dio un discurso y después Melania Trump, mucho tiempo después, dio el mismo discurso. Y la criticaron mucho a Melania Trump, diciéndole que le copió todo el discurso a Michelle Obama. Una copiona. Entonces Donald Trump hace el chiste, like, las noticias son tan parciales. Michelle Obama da un discurso y todo el mundo la ama. Mi esposa, Melania, da el mismo discurso y todo el mundo la odia. ¿Por qué no la aman tan bien? That was funny. Lo admitió y se rió y hizo un buen chiste.
And I don't get it. I don't know why.
Gracias, Marlon
And it
Alejo, por
wasn't
tu
her
aporte.
fault. Stand up, Melania. Come on. She took a lot of abuse. Oh, I'm in trouble when I go home tonight. She didn't know.
Gracias, Marlon Alejo, por tu aporte al Rey Estudio.
Am I okay? Is it okay? Cardinal, please speak to her. I'd like to address an important religious matter, the issue of going to confession, or as Hillary calls it, the 4th of July weekend with FBI Director Comey. Now, I'm told Hillary went to confession before tonight's event,
José Castro.
but the priest was having a hard time when he asked her about her sins, and she said she couldn't remember 39 times. Nah. Hillary is so corrupt.
Ahora le dio duro.
She got kicked off the Watergate Commission.
Ahí le está dando duro a Hillary.
How corrupt do you have to be to get kicked off the Watergate Commission? Pretty corrupt. Hillary is
Ahí le está
and
dando
has
duro.
been in politics.
Ahí el público en ese momento le hizo boo a Donald Trump porque a él va a darle durísimo a Hillary Clinton cuando está supuesto simplemente hacer chistes ligeros.
Since the 70s. What's her pitch? The economy is busted. The government's corrupt. Washington is failing. Vote for me. I've been working on these problems for 30 years. I can fix it, she says. I wasn't really sure if Hillary was going to be here tonight because I guess you didn't send her invitation by email. Or maybe you did, and she just found out about it through the wonder of WikiLeaks. We've learned so much from WikiLeaks. For example, Hillary believes that it's vital to deceive the people by having one public policy and a totally different policy in private. That's okay. I don't know who they're angry at, Hillary, you're right. For example, here she is tonight in public.
Hay que tener valor para hacer eso. Hay que tener valor. A Trump no le importa nada porque le está dando con todo a Hillary en ese momento, en el 2016. Y él dice, no me importa, yo no sé si tú me abuses a mí o a ella, si estás molesto conmigo o con ella. Él le está hablando al pueblo, no a los que están ahí en la élite. En ese momento era Donald Trump 100% revelado en contra de la élite. Lo que vimos al día de hoy, que por eso quería hacer la distinción, Donald Trump sigue revelado con la élite, pero entiende que en este punto han pasado tantas cosas que debe de hacer concesiones y debe de hacer algunos compromisos, no muy grandes, como su deducción de taxes, de SALT, que va especialmente para ricos, que son personas de alto ingreso y de high network, de alto patrimonio. No nosotros somos unos locos, pero él tuvo que hacer esos compromisos ahora. Y lo vi porque no lo había visto, lo vi en vivo cuando le dijo, Shock, trabajaremos en eso. Like, quieto, Shock, we got you.
Pretending not to hate Catholics.
Whoa.
Not to hate. She is tonight in public.
Diantre, aquí está Hillary hoy en público pretendiendo no odiar a los católicos. Qué fuerte.
Pretending not to hate Catholics. Now, if some of you haven't noticed, Hillary isn't laughing as much as the rest of us. That's because she knows the jokes. And all of the jokes were given to her in advance of the dinner by Donna Brazil, which is, everyone knows, of course, Hillary's belief that it takes a village, which only makes sense, after all, in places like Haiti, where she's taken a number of them.
¿Qué fue lo que dijo de
Like
Haití?
Haiti, which only makes sense, after all, in places. Everyone knows, of course, Hillary's belief that it takes a village, which only makes sense, after all, in places like Haiti, where she's taken a number of them.
En el 2016, Donald Trump acusó a Hillary Clinton de tomar aldeas en Haití. En el 2024, Haití es un caos, un desastre lleno de pandillas. Por eso hay que revisar la historia y ver estos videos viejos. Un día yo haré un en vivo o una reacción de los debates de las primarias republicanas de Donald Trump con Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, Jean Jordan, creo que estaba, muchos senadores y representantes.
Thank you. I don't know And I don't want this evening without saying something nice about my opponent.
Saludos,
Hillary has
Mustang.
been in Washington a long time. She knows a lot about how government works. And according to her sworn testimony, Hillary has forgotten more things than most of us will ever know. That I can tell you. We're having some
Wow, Hillary se puso seria. Va a beber agua. Déjame ver.
fun here tonight. And that's good. On a personal
Y, Dios mío. ¿Sabes cuando te acaban así en público frente al mundo? Qué difícil, Hillary.
note, what an amazing honor it is to be with all of you. And I want to congratulate Hillary on getting the nomination, and we're in there fighting. And over the next 19 days, somebody's going to be chosen. We'll see what happens. But I have great memories of coming to this dinner with my father over the years when I was a young man.
Donald Trump va a concluir ahí. Ahora, yo no iba a presentar esto, pero déjame buscarlo. Por lo menos, déjame buscarlo. Obama Correspondence Dinner 2011. Señores, me voy para el 2011. ¿Quieren que me vaya para el 2011, señores? Obama le dio duro a Donald Trump en el 2011, pero duro. Eso fue antes de Donald Trump correr. Recuerden que Donald Trump intentó correr en el 2012, 2011, 2012, pero estaba muy difícil la situación. Obama lo invitó a la Casa Blanca. Obama se lo tragó en la Casa Blanca, Donald Trump, y Donald Trump tranquilo. Y desde ese momento, ese fue el momento que Donald Trump dijo, voy a correr a la presidencia por esa humillación que me hizo Obama. Los chistes estaban buenísimos, en verdad, en ese momento. Y después Donald Trump ganó en el 2016. Y Donald Trump ganó en el 2016. Dime, Obama, ahora, ¿quién se ríe, Obama? ¿Quién está muerto de risa, Obama? Vamos a ver este video. Espérate, que no quiero copyright.
Ladies and gentlemen, Massachusetts. Someone should get to the bottom of that.
Si lo vamos a ver, dale me gusta al video porque no estamos en nada. Dale me gusta a este video para ver a Obama convirtiendo a Trump en presidente. El momento histórico donde Donald Trump decidió correr a la presidencia fue por Obama y lo estamos viendo aquí. Dale me gusta. ¿Cuántos me gustas tenemos? 700. No llegamos ni a 1000. Ah, no, pero esto hay que dejarlo. No estoy en nada aquí. ¿Me di que 700 me gusta en una hora? Ay, Dios mío, pero qué escasez. Vamos a darle ya por misericordia de Jehová. Let's go.
And I know just the guy to do it, Donald Trump.
Ay, ok. Vamos para atrás, vamos para atrás, vamos para atrás.
And then there's a vicious rumor floating around that I think could really hurt Mitt Romney. I heard he passed universal health care when he was governor of Massachusetts. Someone should get to the bottom of that. And I know just the guy to do it. Donald Trump is here tonight. Now, I know that he's taken some flack lately, but no one is happier, no one is prouder to put this birth certificate matter to rest than the Donald. And that's because he can finally get back to focusing on the issues that matter. Like, did we fake the moon landing? What really happened in Roswell?
Está curando con
And
Trump.
where are Biggie and Tupac?
Se está curando con Trump en el 2011, diciendo, mientras yo me preocupo por el bienestar del país, Donald Trump se preocupa por si fuimos a la luna, por conspiraciones, ¿dónde está Biggie y Tupac? Y Donald Trump ni siquiera estaba corriendo a la presidencia. La atmósfera en ese momento que estamos viendo ahora fue que Donald Trump estaba diciendo que Obama no era estadounidense, que dónde estaba su certificado de nacimiento, dónde está su acta de nacimiento. ¿Recuerdan ese momento con Donald Trump? Entonces Obama aprovechó para tratar de humillarlo por esto, lo que hizo que Donald Trump se motivara 100% a correr a la presidencia. Fue Obama que motivó a Trump a correr a la presidencia. Fue la Primera Guerra Mundial que inició la Segunda Guerra Mundial y lo que va a empezar la Tercera Guerra Mundial. Nada en la Tierra es un hecho aislado, todo está relacionado. Siempre lo digo aquí en el Ray Studios, amantes de la historia, historiador moderno, el hombre clave. Let's go. Dale me gusta a este video. 800. Ok, vamos mejorando. Faltan 200.
All kidding aside, obviously we all know about your credentials and breadth of experience. For example, no, seriously, just recently in an episode of Celebrity Apprentice at the steakhouse, the men's cooking team did not impress the judges from Omaha Steaks. And there was a lot of blame to go around, but you, Mr. Trump, recognized that the real problem was a lack of leadership. And so ultimately you didn't blame Little John or Meatloaf. You fired Gary Busey. And these are the kind of decisions that would keep me up at night.
Aquí Obama se está burlando de Trump diciendo que mientras Trump estaba en televisión siendo un juez de cómo quedó la carne mejor de un equipo de apprentices, Obama tiene mejores decisiones que tomar como presidente de los Estados Unidos. Es la humillación de Obama para Trump en el 2011. Obama estaba en su peak, en su mejor momento. Ay, Obama, el tiempo siempre dirá.
Well handled, sir. Well handled. Say what you will about Mr. Trump. He certainly would bring some change to the White House. Let's see what we've got up there.
Miren ahí que si Donald Trump se hace presidente, así sería la Casa Blanca, según Obama. Eso fue en el 2011.
So, yes, this has been quite a year in politics, but also in the movies. Many people, for instance, were inspired by The King's Speech. Wonderful film. Well, some of you may not know this, but there's now a sequel in the works that touches close to home. And because this is a Hollywood crowd, tonight I can offer a sneak peek. So can we show the trailer, please?
The following preview was begrudgingly approved for all audiences by the president. The year is 2011, and opposition rises.
Congressional Republicans could force the federal government to shut down.
And a president must face.
Republicans are serious about an amendment that would eliminate funding, this is serious business, for the president's teleprompter.
His greatest challenge. From the people who brought you universal health care and the huge backlash to universal health care comes the incredible true story.
As our economy added another 20, to say that, they say that doing that'll work. No,
The president has lost his prompter. Joe Lockhart, has he lost the magic?
Savannah, he's gone from yes, we can to no, I can't.
I can't get that. I will also visit Chile. I will also visit Chile. Okay, let's try that again.
In his darkest hour,
Mr. President, what are you going to do?
the president turned to a man who never let prepared remarks stand in his way.
Axelrod wanted me to use a teleprompter, but I told him I'm much better when I wing it.
Ooh, baby, I like it, bro. Who broke all the rules.
His mom lived in
Pero espérate, ya yo no quiero ver eso. Era esto que yo quería ver. A ver si él empieza aquí. Yo creo que él empieza aquí. Espérate.
No room for laughter. I know you were a little tense when the GOP tried to cut your funding, but Personally, I was looking forward to new programming like No Things Considered. Or wait, don't fund me. Of course, the deficit is a serious issue. That's why Paul Ryan couldn't be here tonight. His budget has no room for laughter. Michelle Bachmann is here, though, I understand, and she is thinking about running for president, which is weird because I hear she was born in Canada. Yes, Michelle, this is how it starts. I don't even know.
Ahí va a hablar de Obama, de Trump de nuevo. Vamos a ver.
Tim Pawlenty. He seems all-American, but if you heard his real middle name, Tim Hosney Pawlenty. What a shame. My buddy, our outstanding ambassador, John Huntsman, is with us. Now, there's something you might not know about John. He didn't learn to speak Chinese to go there. Oh, no. He learned English to come here. And then there's a vicious rumor floating around that I think could really hurt Mitt Romney. I heard he passed universal health care when he was...
Ok, eso lo vimos ahorita. Vamos a ver cuando él empieza con Donald Trump. Yo creo que es aquí.
Tonight, I'm prepared to go a step further. Tonight, for the first time, I am releasing my official birth video. Now,
miren a Trump ahí.
I warn you, no one has seen this footage in 50 years. Not even me. But let's take a look.
Lo quité. Eso fue Obama tratando de hacer un chiste de su nacimiento que nació en África, porque era lo que Donald Trump decía en ese momento. Vamos a ver si cuando hable de Trump.
Oh, well. Back to square one. I want to make clear to the Fox News table, that was a joke. That was not my real birth video. That was a children's cartoon. Call Disney if you don't believe me. They have the original long-form version. Anyway, it's good to be back with so many esteemed guests, celebrities.
All right, ese fue Obama. Hay otro peor del comediante Seth Meyers en esa misma escena. Correspondent dinner 2011, Seth Meyers. Fue Obama y Seth Meyers también, que atacó a Donald Trump viciosamente, pero feo que le dio. Miren aquí.
Certificate jokes. So thank you for the timing on that, Mr. President. Now unusable. We were working on these jokes for months. One of my guys said, "Are you worried we're a little heavy on birth certificate jokes? What if he releases it before the dinner?" And I was like, why would he do that? He's not going to wait 3 years and then release it before the dinner. Who told you I had birth certificate jokes? It was Assange, wasn't it?
Assange.
Is Biden still vice president? Because if not, I'm down to like, thank you and God bless America. And then, of course, there's Donald Trump.
Aquí, presten atención, no lo quiero interrumpir, presten atención a lo que él dice de Donald Trump en el 2011, porque le dio durísimo en ese momento. Donald Trump ni siquiera estaba corriendo a la presidencia. Vamos a ver esto aquí.
Donald Trump has been saying that he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising since I just assumed he was running as a joke.
Donald Trump serio. Donald Trump ni serio.
Trump often appears on Fox, which is ironic because a fox often appears on Donald Trump's head.
Donald Trump no fue a esa cena para que se curen con él, no estaba preparado, eso le molestó bastante. Miren qué serio está, 2011. Lo último que dijo, Donald Trump está corriendo, Fox dijo que Donald Trump está corriendo para presidente. Qué raro, porque un fox o un zorro aparece en la cabeza de Donald Trump, dijo Seth Meyers.
If you're at the Washington Post table with Trump and you can't finish your entree, don't worry, the fox will eat it. And if I can for a moment talk about the birther issue, when did we get so suspicious about where people were born? A USA Today poll last week said 38% of Americans think the president was definitely born in the US. In the same poll, in the very same poll, only 5% more said Donald Trump was definitely born in the US. Has it reached the point where Americans only think someone was born here if they saw it? I know I was born here, and I know my younger brother was born here. But when it comes to my older brother, I can only take him at his word. Gary Busey said recently that Donald Trump would make a great president. Of course, he said the same thing about an old rusty bird cage he found. Donald Trump owns the Miss USA pageant, which is great for Republicans because it will streamline their search for a vice president. Donald Trump said recently he has a great relationship with the blacks, though unless the blacks are a family of white people, I bet he's mistaken. I like that Trump is filthy rich, but nobody told his accent. His whole life is models and gold leaf and marble columns, but he still sounds like a know-it-all down at the OTB. Mr. Trump may not be a good choice for president, but he would definitely make a great press secretary. How much fun would that be? Kim Jong-il is a loser. His latest rally was a flop. I feel bad for Ahmadinejad. He never man wears a windbreaker. He has no class. I, on the other hand, sell my own line of ties. You can find them at Macy's in the flammable section. So it's not a strong field.
Ay, ese fue Seth Meyers. Ya vieron la historia. Mire, Donald Trump lo puse esto porque Donald Trump no va a las cenas corresponsales de las noticias. Donald Trump no va. Pero Donald Trump sí va a la cena que vimos hoy, que es de Al Smith en New York. Esa que hacen es en Washington, D.C., con la Casa Blanca y la prensa. Donald Trump no va a lo de la prensa porque Donald Trump dice, la prensa es falsa, me ataca demasiado con premisas falsas. So ni siquiera voy a ir. La cena que vimos hoy de Donald Trump, Al Smith, es algo diferente. Es una élite diferente. Como alguien que dejó un comentario y dijo, la élite híbrida que existe en el país. Now, mi gente del Rey Estudios, hoy tuvimos un buen en vivo, nos reímos mucho, disfrutamos mucho. Déjame ver cuántos me gusta tenemos. Oh, estamos casi bien, necesitamos como 50 me gusta. Y necesitábamos 300, ahora solamente 50. Vale, dale me gusta a este video. Un saludo para todos ustedes. Gracias a los que dieron superchats. Déjame responder una pregunta de Flor. Flor dice, Raya, aunque la mayoría de votantes, aunque la mayoría vote por Trump, los electores designados por los partidos son los que deciden los resultados. Eso me preocupa. ¿Qué opinas? Sí, el colegio electoral. Las personas votan por un representante del colegio electoral que es que votará por Donald Trump. No, pero eso no es el problema. Se tiene que votar, el colegio electoral tiene que votar por la decisión de la mayoría. El problema sería una repetición del 2020, pero eso lo tendremos que ver en ese momento. No me puedo adelantar a los acontecimientos. Todo luce normal, todo luce bien. Dale me gusta a este video. Recuerda, este es el Rey Estudios. Vienen más noticias el día de hoy. ¿Qué tú opinas sobre todo esto? Los